Hi, thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm so excited. We have a lot of fun things to talk about. So let's just get started. I'm Jenny. I'm an intuition empowerment business coach, an energy healer, a Reiki master, and a psychic. I specialize in healing and helping female entrepreneurs use their intuition to run successfully aligned businesses. And I call myself a firelighter because I love helping women come alive when they are living their greater purpose. Today's agenda, we are going to talk about how to use your intuition to create the life you desire, why the hustle that brought you here won't get you there, and I'm going to show you the exact vehicle I use to create an aligned business and how you can implement the exact same strategy into your life immediately. By the end, you will know how I went from struggling and hustling in my business to creating the life and business I truly desire that also works with my family and my dreams, and how you can do it too without sacrificing any more of your sanity, health, family time, or posting more on social media. Let me share a little bit about who this is for and who this isn't for. This is not for people who are finding their worth in how hard they work. Anyone who is not available to be vulnerable and looking within to find root causes, this isn't for you. If you're not able to take responsibility for your life and your choices that you make and how the consequences of those things, not a good fit. If you enjoy the hustle and feed off adrenaline from stressors, you're probably not going to feel comfortable here. And if you're happy with your current results of your business and personal life, then thank you for coming, and I hope you have a good time. But who this is really for is those who are really wanting to have answers, personal answers for their business. They want a desire for a deeper spiritual connection, knowing that there's more to just what's going on right now, what's here. There's something else. There's deeper meanings to things. Someone who wants to develop and learn more about their intuitive abilities. And learning how to trust your intuition and live your life purpose. Those who are willing to do the inner work to see massive results, and those who are desiring more work-life balance. And also those who are willing to consistently show up for themselves. If you're here watching this is because you have overcome a lot of things in your life, and you haven't let it harden your heart and leave you bitter. You've turned ashes into diamonds. It's become one of your greatest strengths as you've overcome challenges and allowed your empathy to help you create a business and life that helps others and makes an impact on the world. You've continued to rise up. You desire to make the world a better place and want others to feel loved and supported. You've taken care of those who are around you and probably have since you were a child. You're a born leader and a caretaker. You've been feeling this ache to know more, this longing that there is something greater and you're connected to it somehow, but you don't really know how to tap into it or where to find a trusted source to learn from. I would like to ask you a few questions that might help you understand a little bit more about your own intuition. Do you know things you can't quite explain? Like you just have a feeling about something, or knowing that something's about to happen, or just like knowing a reason behind something. Do you feel what other people are feeling? Do you feel anxious when someone else looks like, or do you feel physical pain when someone else is like falls down and hurts themselves? Do you feel moved to cry when you see someone else feeling emotional? Like, do you pick up on the emotions of others or the emotions in the room? Do you experience synchronicities? Synchronicities are like when you hear your friend talking about a book, and then on the radio you hear the exact same book being talked about, and then you happen to be scrolling on Instagram and someone else is talking about this book. Those are synchronicities, and those are little messages from your intuition and from universe, God source, whatever you would like to call it. Those are messages. Those are synchronicities. Do you see numbers and repetitions or sequences like 111 or 333? Do you feel like you've received signs or messages from deceased loved ones? Say your grandmother passed away and you were really close with her. And every time you have a hard time, you see her favorite hummingbird was her favorite animal, and you see a hummingbird. Those could be messages from your special grandma. Do you think of someone right before they're calling or text, like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you? Or maybe you were thinking about someone all day, then the next day they call. Those are also intuitive abilities. Do you have very vivid dreams that you can remember when you wake up? You're like, oh my gosh, I thought that was so real. Do you feel like you can tell what animals are saying or thinking? Like, for example, my dog really, really wanted her ball. And I was like, I could tell she wanted her ball, but I didn't know where her ball was. And I kept looking at her, and she went and sat over by my daughter's dollhouse. And I was like, I think she's telling me her ball's in the dollhouse, but there's no way that there would be a ball in the dollhouse because that's not where the ball goes. Sure enough, it was in the top attic that folds up. That was where the ball was. So, but sometimes, or if maybe you can really understand what babies are saying or thinking or feeling, those are also signs of that. Do you have a sense that something is going to happen before it does? Like maybe an accident, or maybe even just good things that are going to happen. Do you have a sense of things that are going to happen before they do? Do you love deep soul connections with people instead of small talk? Do you just rather just get right into the nitty gritty and just create that beautiful connection, and that feels meaningful and vulnerable, and it just feels so good versus just light chit chat? Excuse me if I keep drinking water. It's dry here, and I may be speaking a lot. Do you get overwhelmed or anxious easily? This could be because you're very sensitive to noises and sounds or other people's energy, and it could just be a lot. Do you want to learn more about how to develop your intuition? And do you have a hard time talking about this with others because not everyone else gets it? And when you do, they like deny or minimize or think you're crazy for like feeling or sensing these things? Do you want a safe place to learn more about what all of that means? Well, you're in a good place. If you said yes to any more of one of these questions, it's because you have intuitive abilities and you are being called to develop them more. I speak from a place of knowing because this was me a few years ago too, but I didn't know what it meant because I didn't know that I had these abilities, that it was a something, and that I could develop it further, or that even if an ordinary person like me could develop it further. Spoiler alert, yes, you can. An ordinary person, we all have these abilities, and we can all learn how to develop them more. Today, I work with clients that have beautiful souls with pure desires for good that create increase and abundance in the world without drama or ill intent. I love that I can say that I work with the best clients. They're such good people, and I am protective of my time and energy and don't work with just anyone. And I want to be respectful of your time. So if this feels aligned with who you are, then you are so in the right place. And I am so excited because there's something here for you. You're not here by accident. You're here to hear something. Even if that's not with working with me, I'm hoping that by being here today, you're going to have some kind of nuggets and some truth and some aha bombs that come to you that you've been seeking for and have be an answer for you. As an entrepreneur myself, I understand how hard it is to be a business owner. You're wearing so many hats. Like, you're not just doing your creative genius. You are being the copywriter, you're doing emails, automations, marketing your business, networking, dealing with tech issues, customer problems, tracking finances, and keeping your website all up to date while continuing to educate yourself on the best strategies and practice. It's a lot. It's so a lot. Being an entrepreneur also involves making a lot of decisions, like so many freaking decisions. It's ridiculous. You're constantly evaluating the pros and cons, best practices, and your services and offerings, constantly evaluating what's working, what's not on the daily. Like, it's a lot. It can be very overwhelming. It's simultaneously so rewarding because you know and you love your business and you love your products and you love serving your people, but it's also can be so overwhelming with all these decisions you need to make, especially when you have like two good options and you can't tell which one to choose. It can also make you doubt yourself a lot, especially because when it comes to your business, making a mistake can feel very, very high risk when it involves your bottom line. It's just a lot. Is there a better, easier, less stressful way to find answers and feel supported while running your business? Yes, there is. And I am excited to share with you how in this webinar. But first, let me share a little about my story. I first started, ever since I was a child, I have been obsessed with homes. I've loved homes and loved making them beautiful. I started an Instagram account sharing my home and DIYs on Instagram because I was so passionate about helping others create a beautiful home regardless of the budget. Around about the same time, I started a second account to share my excitement about my new Instant Pot that I had just gotten. That was a brand new appliance at the time. And I was sharing with others recipes and how to use the Instant Pot. My Instant Pot account grew quickly and became my main focus as I didn't have the time and energy to keep both accounts going while also being a mom to 4 young children. Even though I loved helping people with the Instant Pot, I cried often because I felt so frustrated that I no longer had the time to do the interior design, which was what my heart really wanted to do. I talked about my conflict of heart and mind with my hubby, and he urged me to continue to do the Instant Pot since it made the most logical sense. I mean, I had an audience that desired my content, and I was already making a little money, whereas the home decor account wasn't. Have you ever experienced a time where your heart and mind just are in such conflict over deciding what to do? Yeah, you know, it's such a struggle. So I continued on because it did make the most logical sense. During this time, I started noticing I was losing more hair in the shower. And I have a lot of thick hair, but I was noticing it was getting to the point where I was like, this is kind of, what's going on? I had a feeling that it might be related to the fact that I wasn't listening to my heart and that I wasn't in alignment, and because I was still doing the Instant Pot stuff instead of doing my home decor account stuff. As I continued to be the recipe blogger, the more I felt my interior design genius and like the spirit of it, like the gifts of it fading. And that made me weep. I knew I had to make a change, that my heart and my intuition were telling me to do, that I needed to stop doing the Instant Pot and doing the interior design. But I was scared because it didn't make any logical sense. It felt like a stupid business move to do that. But I knew I couldn't keep fighting against going what I felt inside because it was affecting my health. So I did it. 2 years after I started my Instant Pot account, I made the switch back to my interior design, scared but trusting that even though I knew I didn't have all the answers, that logically it didn't make sense, I knew that in my heart it was still the right thing to do and it was going to be okay. And guess what? I stopped losing hair. I was so happy that I listened to myself and I gave myself permission to do what I wanted to do instead of listening to what everyone else thought I should be or what they wanted me to do. This was my life and I got to choose my dream. When you listen to your intuition, you're using and exercising the muscle of faith in yourself by taking action on it. Trusting and following your intuition is something that you must do in order to live the life you desire and live and fulfill your greater purpose. Following your intuition is magical because as you do things that are in alignment with you, things that are seemingly impossible become possible. You call into your life people, resources, information, and anything that you might need in order for you to live this path. Following what lights you up and is following your intuition, and that is getting you in alignment. When you follow what lights you up, you feel excited. You feel an expansion inside. This raises your vibration. And as you raise your frequency, you're raising your frequency to a frequency of love, which is the highest vibration. And that frequency will always lead you to your highest good. Have you ever felt like you've had to force yourself to do something because you should do it, because that's you have to do, or this is the way things are done? That is a feeling of resistance and frustration. And that means that you're not in alignment when you're feeling that. But you know what? It's okay. It's normal. We experience that time and time again, because when we can feel that and experience that, we know when something is not in alignment, to help us be able to better discern when things are in alignment for ourselves. And to fix it, it just requires sitting with the discomfort just briefly, just long enough to go, what is really going on here? You can always turn back and tune back into yourself and use your intuition to get clarity. When you take the time to do this, I promise you, you will feel love and grace for yourself and discover what you need to do in order to get back into alignment. I wish I could say it was all rainbows and butterflies after this, after I made that pivot from Instant Pot to my interior design account, but it wasn't. We have a little bit more to talk about. So let me rewind a little bit more to help paint an even bigger picture about how dialing into my intuition was vital, but receiving energy healing from my deep core wounds and my false beliefs was actually the missing second half of the puzzle in creating huge changes and creating alignment in my life. As a new entrepreneur 7 years ago, I did everything I was supposed to do. I read books, I joined masterminds, memberships, Facebook groups. I listened to lots of podcasts. I spent money on businesses. I worked on my mindset, said affirmations. I journaled. I did everything. And I had built a great foundation. I needed to learn those things, but I still felt stuck and my business wasn't growing. I was making enough money to cover my basic monthly business costs and a little bit for a cushion, but not much more. I forgot to switch the slide. I had big goals for myself. I wanted to provide not only an amazing product that would help others, but I wanted a business that could scale, so I didn't have to kill myself every day working for my business. I wanted enough money that I could retire my husband from his job in the medical field, because he was killing himself, working 10, 11, 12-hour days and hardly at home with us. I also wanted to be able to travel with my family, to afford vacations. I wanted to have enough money to pay for retirement and my girls' future colleges. 4 girls. That's a lot of college tuition. I also knew that my parents have not been financially stable my whole life, and they were living paycheck to paycheck, and I knew that they would need someone to help them financially someday. And so I wanted to be able to be a financial position in myself that I could be able to help them. But instead of growth and success in my business, I was still hustling so hard and not seeing increased results. I was staying up late at night, falling asleep, looking at the screen, falling into bed about 12 or 1 a.m. at night. And then I would stress dream all night. If you don't know what stress dreaming is, it's kind of my term what I've made up for when you're tossing and turning all night, dreaming about all the things that you haven't gotten done, that still need to get done, and probably aren't going to get done the next day because you're so freaking busy, and the to-do list just keeps on getting longer. So you wake up depressed and disappointed in yourself and feeling like crying. That's what I call stress dreams. Yeah. Have you ever had dreams like that? Yeah, they're not very much fun. All these late night work sessions were also meaning very little on the romance scale for hubby and I, because we would just end up falling asleep, collapsing and exhausted in bed at night. Too tired to hardly even talk to each other, to be honest. Does this sound familiar? Is that it's just crazy. It's hard. During the day, I impatiently snapped at my kids whenever they would knock on the door, trying to get my attention because they needed me. And I hated getting interrupted from work because I had so much work to do. And I hated that I would be so impatient with them. I was always constantly trying to squeeze in a little bit of work here, a little bit of work here in every nook and cranny of the day, just so I could keep getting my business going, hoping I was going to get some more results. I would fit in my lunch My lunch breaks were not actually lunch breaks. I would just grab something that I could snack on while I worked at my computer screen. It was just, I was just trying so hard and I was doing all the things and it still felt like I was failing. What was wrong with me? Why were my entrepreneur friends, businesses taking off when they started at the same time as me? Why were they having success and being able to have enough finances to hire a team? Why was I still struggling? Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever looked at your friends and been like, what's going on? How are they making this work? What are they doing that I'm not doing? Little did I know then that I had internal beliefs that were negatively affecting my business results. Being an entrepreneur was the biggest course on self-development for me at the time. What most entrepreneurs don't figure out until too late is that your business is a reflection on how well you operate as the self. I grew up in, and this is off script, I just feel like I need to say this. I grew up in a hard family life, and I had to do a lot of growing up that I didn't learn from my parents. And as I learned how to be an entrepreneur and listen to a lot of these podcasts, it helped me grow up and develop healthy thinking skills and healthy processing skills that I wasn't able to learn from my the type of childhood home that I grew up in. And so I understand how much self-development is required as you're an entrepreneur. And if you've had to go through that kind of thing too, I see you, I honor you, and I recognize how much growth we have to do and how much we're breaking generational chains by working on ourselves and creating a new future for us, for our family, and also healing past. Okay, let's get back on track. I know that is for someone. Whew. So I knew I needed to change something in my business so that I could get better results. So I hired a business coach who urged me to write an Instant Pot ebook. She's like, oh, it's going to be amazing. You're totally going to make 6 figures with this. It's such the hot thing. And digital ebook products are like the it thing. I made $3,000 in sales with that. Yeah. And I spent $2,600 on her. And at that time, I didn't even have $2,600 to hire her. So maybe marketing was my problem. Maybe that's the reason why I wasn't getting very many sales with my ebook. So I spent $800 hiring a marketing professional to help me create Facebook ads and run Facebook ads and to sell my ebooks. And it only resulted in 2 more sales. 2 more sales. It was about this time that I pivoted from being an Instant Pot recipe blogger to an interior designer, as I had spoken about before. And during that time, during that pivot, I joined an expensive mastermind to learn even more about how to create my niche and my ICA and create a product that would really resonate with my ICA. I launched and hosted a webinar to launch my private membership community, and only 7 people joined. It made me $200 a month. And my mastermind cost me thousands of dollars. It was not the return I was expecting either. So I decided the membership model was not for me, and because it wasn't working out with that particular product. And I spent months instead redesigning my website so that I could launch my interior design services and just be a full-on interior designer. But I only booked 1 client during my 6 months after my website redesign. I was physically, mentally, and emotionally so exhausted from working so hard to see yet another attempt fail, especially after I followed my intuition to pivot careers. I knew I was supposed to be living this dream life now. I was living what I was supposed to be doing, what it felt right. And I knew I was talented, and I knew I was skilled, and I was knowledgeable in my fields. but my results didn't reflect that. Then, oh, I forgot to switch that earlier. Sorry, I get so talking in my story. Forget to switch the slides. Then we had to move for a new job for my hubby. And this new job was a cut in pay by half than what he used to make. So here I was with a new, beautiful home full of potential with no money to decorate or do big projects with. It was like my hands were tied as a content creator, interior designer, because I couldn't even afford to create content with my own home. But as things do, beautiful things can come from seemingly impossible hard things. Because I didn't have my head down in home improvement projects constantly, I was able to give my full attention to something else that I could work on with my time, that my intuition was calling me towards. That helped me. I was so excited. It made me feel alive in. And that was to develop my psychic abilities. My intuition was calling me to do that. I followed what was a yes for me. I started devouring books on developing my intuition. I found a spiritual mentor to work with to develop my skills, and I was practicing 10 plus hours a week in class with other students for months. I loved it. It was so fascinating and so rewarding. And I also started taking classes and got certified in Reiki healing. As I started developing these abilities, I started offering sessions and for friends and families, energy healing sessions to help me practice. And it was so fascinating and rewarding to see the results others were having from me helping them. Yet as rewarding as that was, I really wanted to bring in income to help my family situation. And so I really wanted to focus on my interior design business because I thought that that's where I was going to be bringing in the most income that way. And I knew I didn't want to join any more programs. I didn't want to have another course. I didn't want to have another mastermind. I didn't want to have another coach because I was so tired of not seeing the results from those investments in the past. That's when I noticed my close friend making big changes in her business and seeing amazing results after years of struggling like me. She was getting steady bookings and making consistent 4-figure months, working very part-time hours while she, when she used to be starving for clients. I asked her what her secret was. I'm like, you got to tell me, like, I can tell that there's something has changed with you. And she told me about the business coach, the energy business coach that she had hired and that she was working with privately. This energy coach specialized in healing and helping entrepreneurs run successfully aligned businesses. And I listened to my intuition. Again, decided to give myself one more try, myself and my business one more try. I invested in this energy coach my friend had hired. And this is when things finally started to change for me. I began the deeper healing that I needed to do on a personal level so that I could see better results. I discovered the real reasons that I wasn't seeing results in my business. Even though I was following my intuition and living more aligned, I realized there's still that following my intuition was only part of the solution. I also required deeper healing. Things that I'd never expect to be affecting my business were. Here's the real things that I needed to do in order to see results in my business. As I healed myself from trauma wounds from childhood, I started showing up differently in my life and my business. One of the main beliefs that I needed to heal from was that it was safe for me to be seen. Can you imagine that? Here I am running online courses and classes and social media challenges and all these things, being very seen, and yet subconsciously, I was scared to be seen. I didn't feel safe to be seen truly as I am, as Jenny, because I had suffered a lot of rejection, abandonment, abuse, and shame when I was a child, and especially when I showed up as me. And those wounds were still affecting how I lived and how I chose actions as an adult. Now, logically, I knew these things. I knew I had been bullied. I knew I had been abused and all those things. And I had worked on those things with therapy and with journaling. with affirmations, but it wasn't enough. It was still deep down rooted in my very being, in my very programming of my brain, that I needed to go deep to the root cause of these false beliefs to release them and to heal and to rewire my brain. The energy work that I did with this new coach helped me to do that. I finally felt that it was safe for me to be seen as me, as I am right now, and that I am enough, and that I am safe, and that I'm not, no danger is going to come from being me. And I also developed that belief that I am worthy of my dreams, and it's safe for me to ask for what I want and to be receiving of what I want. Whoops. Hold on a second. Oh, I did it again. Just a second. Sorry, I have to use notes, otherwise my squirrel brain forgets where I'm at. Okay. Let me tell you about how my personal life changed drastically after doing this energy work. I'm not kidding. It changed so much. My marriage completely changed for the better. We had some major rifts in our marriage due to me wanting to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be able to be a mother and also do some additional meaningful work outside of motherhood, because I felt invisible as a mother. Even though I loved being a mother, I needed to do some other type of visible labor. And my husband didn't want me to work. He wanted me to just focus on being a mother. So it caused a lot of tension in our marriage. As I did the energy work, my mindset and beliefs about myself started changing. I started showing up proud of who I am and what I have to offer, no longer feeling guilty that I'm choosing to be a working mother. I no longer felt bad for letting go of some of the roles I used to do as a full-time homemaker. I was no longer ashamed of myself, and I no longer allowed others to shame me or to take their perception of me and their fears and beliefs as truths about me. I was worthy of my desires, and there was nothing wrong with me wanting good things for my life. I didn't have to sacrifice myself or my dreams. As a result of how I was showing up in my life, because of my new beliefs, my hubby started shifting and changing too. It's so amazing how you change the energy that's inside here. When you do that, it starts making others start receiving and reacting differently. You don't have to force anything or make them change. All you're doing is making the change, and the energy and how you're outputting and what you're going to receive is going to come back differently. And that's exactly what happened. My husband started supporting me in my business. He even volunteered when I told him I was going to go out of state for a conference, for a business conference. He's like, okay, when's the dates? Let me take off work. I was like, so he could watch the kids. I was like, my jaw dropped on the floor. I also became a better mother as I was able to heal and release those old beliefs of feeling guilty that I was a working mother now. I reframed my beliefs that being a good mom didn't mean I always had to be always available, making food from scratch, making and sewing all the Easter dresses. I could be a good mom, and I was a good mom by being as present as possible whenever I was with my children. As I continued trusting my intuition, I also let go of friendships that were not for my highest good. I also canceled and left business memberships and Facebook groups that I were a part of that were no longer felt aligned. My health improved too. I started effortlessly making better lifestyle healthy choices. I gave up dairy, which was a problem food for me, and craved walking outside daily, making exercise something I loved to do and craved doing instead of feeling shamed into doing because I had to, or, that kind of stuff. It was literally just out of motivation because of self-love. And I easily lost 15 pounds because I was making this choice from this place, this effortless. It was easy to just lose that because I was coming from this place of self-love. So My business also got a major changes in results. Let me tell you about how digging into those deep inner struggles and healing and releasing them made these changes on my business. I started showing up on Instagram, especially Instagram stories, without being afraid to be seen. Oh, of course, that was my thing. I was no longer afraid to truly just be me. Don't care what anyone else says. I've always tried to be genuine, but this time I wasn't afraid that what people were going to say. I wasn't afraid that when I would open in my DMs, if I was going to get some troll mean comment or whatnot. I had done enough work that I was feeling safe to be seen. I even got the courage to step out of the psychic closet and start offering paid energy sessions with clients. I started getting client bookings and then repeat bookings from those clients. And then I started getting referral bookings from those clients. I started getting a steady stream of these energy healing sessions, clients. And it wasn't from anything else but just being in alignment with who I am and what I offered and what my clients wanted. It felt so full of ease compared to all of the other business models I had tried and was running. And guess what? I had my highest revenue year, doubling what I've made the year before. And without posting a bunch about it on social media, all I did was create some pages on my website about it. I did talk about it on Instagram, but it was like a little side thing. It wasn't like my main focus. I still have had my main focus as interior design at that time, and it just started taking off. Secret number 1, why the hustle that brought you here isn't going to go and get you to there. You've gotten here from the hustle that you've done. But in order to get to the next part, the next level, the end result, the desired aligned life that you want, the hustle can't get you there. Being in alignment with my business offerings naturally attracted those clients to me without the hustle, without any additional marketing, emails, or social media posts. They were finding me with ease on my part. I know it's hard being an entrepreneur. You know you have a big purpose. You know you want to help others in big ways with your business, but you also want to enjoy life. You've hustled so hard to get here today, but you can't hustle or sacrifice anymore. You're maxed out. You just can't give any more than you're already giving. And you're probably also experiencing the effects of burnout already, and your health may be affected because you've sacrificed so much to get this far. It's time to run your business from a place of alignment. You can't keep hurting yourself trying to force these kind of shifts and changes to happen when it's not in alignment with who you are. When you follow your intuition and honor your feminine energy, this will naturally attract more paying customers so that you can earn even more without hustling or increasing your workload. To have the business and life you desire, you can't hustle any harder to make it happen. You actually need to listen to your intuition and make decisions from that place. Your intuition may say that you need more clarity, balance, play. Yeah, your intuition might tell you it's time to go outside and play a little bit. It might tell you, go take a nap. Go take a freaking nap because you need it. As women, we are biologically created to produce creations in rhythms and cycles, ebbs and flows. Running a business in this masculine world that we live in, this masculine business dynamic world, is not how we are meant to be or designed to be functioning as women. Running a business the masculine way is so hard on our body and puts us out of alignment. We've been fed the lies that's of society that we have to work like a man in order to be able to succeed. But in order to create balance in our lives, we need to listen to our feminine rhythm of creation. As women, we are also more in tune with our intuition than men are. Sometimes logical choice is not the best choice. We are often required to make gut instinct decisions, using our superpowers as women and trusting our intuition over logic. Our intuition is one of our most powerful business tools that we have. And we have not been taught how to do this or how to develop it. It has not been something that we've been rewarded for doing ever since we've been a child. In fact, like, it was never a topic that we learned in school. We never earned a gold star. Oh, good job. I'm so proud of you for listening to your intuition. No. In fact, it's been the opposite. We've been shamed anytime that we've felt that someone was off, or there's just something off about the situation. We've been ignored, shamed, or written off of like, oh, you're just making it up, or oh, you're just making something out of nothing, or it's not a big deal. Like, we've been trained to shut off our intuition. But no more. We are getting braver. We are getting smarter, and we no longer stand for shutting off our intuition and living that life. We are desiring a life full of ease and alignment and beautiful rest and pleasure. Just because someone else doesn't understand our intuition doesn't mean that we have to give a darn. We can do what feels in alignment with ourselves. I just heard this quote from Amber Lillestrom yesterday, and it couldn't be more true. Our dreams are a set of secret directions that are there to help us figure out what the next step is and where to go. Our dreams may not make any sense on paper to anyone else. Follow each little breadcrumb. Say yes to it. The yes unlocks the how. Saying yes the next thing, even without knowing the how it is going to happen. Just follow that yes. I love that quote. It just paints that magical picture of really how amazing intuition is and how powerful it is, and how there is absolute 100% validity and truth in intuition, even if it can't be proved logically. Rest is so essential for us. Creativity is important as breathing air. Pleasure is vital as part of how we can feel safe. As women, we are passionate beings. And we are not meant to create and run our business as men do. We are meant to do it in a way that aligns with us and our feminine energy. We are not meant to constantly push forward, forcing ourselves. Forcing, if you feel that word, forcing, it's a masculine way. It's not the feminine way. It's not the aligned way for us. To avoid the hustle and create balance in our lives, we need to listen to our feminine creation rhythm, taking cues from the time of our monthly cycles when we are in creation mode, communication mode, organization and systems mode, and rest and reset mode. If you don't know about this, I want you to look up after this phone call about the cycles of women and their production, and it'll blow your mind. It's just more to go into than I have time for right now, but it is a thing, and it's very powerful. So if you feel like something is missing, it's because there is something missing. It's you that's missing right now in your life. It's you that's missing right now in your business. It's you not being able to do what you truly want to do, what you feel lit up to do. And if you're feeling that you're, all these struggles that you're experiencing, and maybe that feeling you're unable to do what you're wanting to do and have these results, it's most likely that it's because you haven't listened to your intuition, or you've fallen off the bandwagon from that. And also, or that maybe you are, but you just need that deeper healing as a partner with that. And when you see others succeeding in your field, making that six figures, it's easy to think, oh my gosh, they know what they're doing. They are just so special. They're a harder worker. They just have a personality type that can just make it work. They have an amazing product. You might just think that's just something super special about them. but really they're just a normal person just like you. But they have a business model and a business product that aligns with them and their ideal clients. At some point, all your hard work and efforts will come to a halt, and no matter more of sacrificing or working harder is going to get you to the life you desire. The real results come from aligned action, following your intuition, and healing those deep core wounds and beliefs. Okay, secret number 2, how to use your intuition to create the life and business you desire without continually hustling or forcing yourself to do the things you hate. Because remember, if you're having to force yourself to do something with a lot of resistance, it means you're not in alignment. Allow me to demonstrate how to do this by introducing you to a client of mine. Meet Jasmine. Oh, I love Jasmine. Jasmine is a wife and mother. She's, if you don't know what it is, she's a quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner. And I'll explain a little bit more in a second. When her youngest started school, she found herself with time to start working on her homeopathy degree at school. Jasmine had dealt with a lot of health issues for most of her life that had baffled doctors. However, she'd received the most impactful healing from her treatments, homeopathy treatments with her doctor. With a desire to help others receive the same type of impactful healing, she pursued a career in homeopathy. As her education was coming to a close, she needed to find a location to start up her new practice, but nothing felt right. Graduation came and went, and she still felt stalled in setting up her business. She was confused and couldn't explain why she felt like this resistance to creating this business when she originally felt so passionate about it, and she just spent all this time and money getting this degree. Jasmine knew she needed help, and she she knew that something was going on, but she didn't know where to go and what to do with that. So she started working with me, and we started with healing sessions and helping her develop her intuition. She was truly an intuitive. She's truly an intuitive person. She receives answers and messages and nudges and synchronicities and sirens, but she has a hard time trusting in it. The more she practiced trusting and acting on her intuition, though, the more that she worked with me with that, the more validation she received that she was making the right choice. Her intuition muscles strengthened and became easier to follow. Your intuition is a muscle, so to speak. It's a spiritual muscle. You have to keep practicing and acting on it in order for it to get stronger and feeling more and more that you can trust it and trust it and trust it. So she was developing that with working with me. Without feeling a clear answer still on her homeopathy practice, I encouraged her to do what did feel like a yes, what did feel clear on. So just keep making and following those yeses until her clarity came. And well, the clarity came a few months later, and she discovered this new technique called hypnotherapy healing technique called QHHT that really excited her and made her feel like she just felt so alive inside. Even though it made no sense logically to start training in something and spending more money on training in something completely new when she had just finished her other degree, she knew that this felt right in getting her QHHT certification. I go back. As her QHHT training came to a completion, Jasmine was now faced with the same part of the process that she just experienced before with the homeopathy degree. She now needed to find a location and start up her business. Well, this time it was as if a fire was lit under her. She quickly registered and got her LLC. She opened up a business checking account and secured a space to lease in the most perfect location, all within 2 weeks. Like, the girl was blowing my mind. I'm like, it took me so long to get this going, and you have all this done in 2 weeks? Her website was up and running a week later. Like, she was blowing through and just going through so fast. It felt so crazy that everything was moving so fast for her, but yet it was completely right. When you're in alignment and you act on your intuition, things can happen very, very quickly. Not always, but it can, and you got to be prepared for it. Was her homeopathy degree a waste? of time and money? No. Jasmine is still able to use her skills and knowledge that she developed from those courses. And her QHHT clients now, her schedule fills up fast, and she has no social media presence, and she doesn't run any ads. She just is constantly following her intuition, following aligned action, and her clients are finding her. She is on Google, so that does help too, help her clients find her. So how can you see? How can you create the life and business you desire by using your intuition? It's simple. When we make a decision, we need to consult how it feels on our body. We can't just make a decision from our brain. That's not how it works. And we can't just make it from our brain and expect it to be in alignment with us. Yes, we do need to use our brain. We need to be smart about things too, but we need to consult how our body feels as we've made this decision too. Does this feel right? How does it feel in my body? So our bodies are our portals to the frequency of energy. Our bodies are literally made of electromagnetic frequencies. So when you tune into how something feels in your body, you're going to be able to tell whether it's a yes or a no, whether it's going to be in alignment or not. So let me tell you about what that's going to feel like. You're going to ask your question, and you're going to be quiet, and you're going to just think. After you ask this question, you're just like, is this a yes? You're going to feel, if it's a yes, it's almost going to be like you don't even have to ask, almost, because you're going to feel excitement. You're going to feel this expansion. You're going to feel like you're coming alive. You're going to feel like, I can't wait to get to going on this. You're going to feel motivation to move, to act. It's going to feel full of potential. A no is going to feel like like confusion, no clarity, like a kind of a meh, maybe. It also can feel like procrastination, lack of motivation, frustration. Frustration is a big thing. It can also feel, you can literally feel like this heavy feeling, or you can feel like sometimes I get a twist in my gut. So my gut goes like this, and I can feel like a little twisting in that. So those are some easy ways for you to start using right away to find out yes or no about what feels in alignment with you, or what is not in alignment with you. Okay, secret number 3, how to have the peace and clarity and answers you desire in your business and your personal life without having to read any more books, take courses, or joining even more masterminds or Facebook groups for more knowledge. To demonstrate this secret, I'm going to share with you Michelle's experience. Meet Michelle. She is a human rights activist and an author. And she works writing political publications. She has achieved a success in her entrepreneur career with a steady stream of incoming clients and projects. She has not lacked for work. However, recently she started noticing a shift in her personal beliefs and goals for her life, and how she wanted her business to align with that, without changing any messaging or anything else in her business except that intention of wanting to create those shifts. Her influx of her clients started declining. That's how crazy energy can be. She literally changed nothing else. She started questioning her worth and capability as a professional, even though she knew she was dang smart and amazing at what she does, because her client base was now declining, and she didn't know what was going on. Why wasn't the revenue rolling in like it used to? What happened? That's when Michelle reached out to me and started working with me. We discovered that her main passion was wanting to write books and more content for herself and less outside client work. However, she felt a writer's block on this book that she'd been writing, and she put on pause 2 years ago because she felt stuck on it. She just was waiting for one day maybe she'd pick it back up again when the inspiration struck. Immediately after we started working together, the book energy was coming in strong and clear right from the first session. To get her into alignment with herself and her business, we focused on energy work. The energy work we did consisted of clearing her of her childhood trauma that was affecting her life in the present. We did healing from childhood abuse that was found in her sacral chakra, which is your womb area, and your third eye chakra, which is right here. The sacral chakra is responsible for creating creative expression, desires, aspirations, sexual emotions. And the third eye chakra is associated with having vision for future plans and goals, and for intuition, for clarity, inspiration, and helping you see solutions to current problems. It's no wonder she was feeling blocked, because in her creative desires and in planning and seeing a vision, like a future for her business, because those were the two areas that needed the work. The unhealed trauma stored in those chakras and the subconscious false beliefs that she had were keeping her from taking her business to the next level and from creating a new aligned business for her. There was neglect of self, not allowing herself to fully have what she wanted, to fully have her desires. But during our sessions, she felt seen, known, heard, and loved, which is always my favorite part when I do energy sessions, is how that is always the core thing, the core message every single time, no matter what is spoken or said. It's always that you know that you are through the messages and the things and that come up, you are seen, known, heard, and loved. Michelle started seeing results as soon as the first session. Passion and excitement filled her. The book inspiration started to come alive. The writing block finally lifted after 2 years. She had this creative energy back inside of her again, and she couldn't wait to return writing the book. She started looking forward towards her new future with a clearer vision for her business and what she wanted. We developed a plan that would help her continue to access her creative process, further her healing, and learning to trust her intuition and aligning her business to one of more purpose, bliss, and personal fulfillment. Secret number 4, discover and address root causes of things in your life instead of only treating the symptoms which are keeping you stuck. I'm going to share an example of how to discover your root causes with this client of mine, Disha. Disha was experiencing some terrible stomach issues that were not healing despite going to doctors. Through our energy sessions together, we discovered that her stomach issues were in large part caused by stress from work. She had a demanding manager that treated her completely unfairly. It was affecting her self-confidence and her feeling of empowerment, despite being a very highly educated and skilled woman in her field. So the stomach is where your solar plexus chakra is. And the solar plexus chakra is emotionally associated with self-confidence, self-esteem, empowerment, strength. It's your inner power and helping you feel in control of your life. So it would make sense that this is what's showing up and it's being blocked it's all connected, right? Through our energy sessions together, we discovered that the root causes of her stomach issues were the self-confidence and empowerment issues from childhood. As a teenager, she was punished for being a student that had a lot of questions for the critical thinking skills that she was developing. The education that she attended was very outdated and set up to learn in textbook point blank memorization format without questioning. She felt immense frustration as a youth, unable to get her elders to see why this modality of learning was not beneficial for her. But she was forced into learning it and punished and publicly humiliated when she wasn't doing it. Even her parents enforced this as well. This feeling of powerlessness affected her solar plexus and confidence in herself to trust what is best for her. It literally shut herself down from trusting what is best for her. These root causes of her stomach issues were now affecting her current business and being triggered by her current work situation. As she continued with the energy sessions to heal and release the stored trauma from her childhood, she started changing up how she was showing up at work. She was able to feel strong in her truth, speaking up for herself and feeling more confidence in leaving her current employment to make the leap into a new entrepreneur career path that lights her up. She's learning to trust her intuition again for the first time after forced to shut it down and keep quiet as a youth. The childhood traumas were also affecting her personal life and how she was showing up as a wife and a mother. She was allowing herself to take on unnecessary blame for things that were happening in their household. She felt burdened and resentful with the task of having to make all the meals home cooked and ready each night from expectations of her hubby. Even though they both held full-time jobs, she worked outside of the home and hubby worked from in the home. And the weight of the meals preparations were all on her shoulders, and it was a cause of contention between them. Through the work we did together, she was able to discover ways to create meal times that no longer felt overwhelming. She discovered a delivery meal subscription service for healthy meal prep kits to be delivered to their home, so that not only dinner is going to be easier, but now her husband and her daughter could help make the meals and take this burden and this weight of meal production off her shoulders. It helped her feel empowered and supported and no longer feeling resentful towards her husband. And her husband started helping out more. It was just amazing how just those shifts of things can help create different shifts and the energies and the dynamics even within the family household. And just like Disha, you can discover and address root causes instead of only treating the symptoms of areas in your life in which you're feeling stuck. One more drink. Oops, I spilled. Listen, I know you are a high level achiever. It's never been a matter of being smart enough, working hard enough, having enough determination or grit to see things through. You wouldn't have gotten this far if those were the case. I know the irritation and agitation that comes from running your business on empty from years of hustle when trying to grow a business in a way that isn't aligned or designed for your highest good. I know that your efforts have produced profitable results and growth both in your business and your personal life, even if it's not yet at the level you desire. You have sacrificed and worked harder than most to be where you are right now. You have worked on mastering your mindset, recognizing limiting beliefs, overcoming your ego, and breaking through those chains of unhealthy generational family patterns. You've made vision boards and created actionable steps to achieve your dreams. But you're also still feeling stuck and confused, and you're most likely experiencing burnout from hustling, which is affecting your sleep, your health, your relationships, and your business. And you recognize that something needs to change. You know that hustling harder isn't going to get you there. You can't work any harder than you already are. You know you want to get clear answers that will work for you and your unique business and life. And you need help to see those areas where you were blocked energetically or emotionally that you might not be able to, that you don't even know or maybe not even be aware of, and that maybe other practitioners and methods have not been able to address and help you with. When you receive energy work, it can help you release those subconscious blocks, heal from trauma, and develop your intuition so that you can experience your greatest potential, trusting and acting on your intuition, creating environments where you can finally thrive, and aligning yourself and your business. My proven methods of intuition development help you learn how to do this for yourself long after our time that we work together is done. I'm here to help you learn how to do this for yourself so you don't have to keep having someone else tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm here to help you learn how to discover that for yourself, instead of you having to keep searching outside of yourself for the next thing, the next solution. You're going to be able to find it within here and where to go. There's no manual on how to live your best life except from your higher self, which you will learn to access at greater levels than ever before. You will be able to see opportunities that you're currently now missing out on because your head is down in the hustle, or you're misaligned, or you're not even able to see them because you don't even think that they're possible for you. You can't fix what you don't know needs fixing. You are a powerhouse. You are relentless in pursuing your dream. You haven't given up yet. You love deeply and you are passionate about what you do. You wouldn't have made it this far if you weren't. Your dreams that are in your heart are possible through this energetic healing and through developing a stronger connection with yourself through your intuition. And I want this for you. I want success and happiness and alignment and ease, and to give yourself a frickin' break and to be able to take time off and to be able to enjoy that time off and not always thinking about work. I want you to be able to have closer relationships and to be able to create an impactful, lasting, sustainable business and life for yourself. I was vulnerable in sharing all of this because I know how impactful it is that if you know that if others like you can do it, it's possible for you to do it too. And I don't want anyone else to struggle a moment or a day longer than is absolutely necessary, because there is solutions and you can find them. And I'm here to help you with that. And I don't want anyone to be struggling any more than they need to. Is it okay with me if I share with you, is it okay with me if I share with you exactly how you can create this aligned life and business you desire? When you invest in energy work coaching, you're going to receive one-to-one energy sessions with me. This is where you're going to receive healing and guidance on creating that life and business you truly desire. This is where we're going to learn about what needs to be healed and how to heal it. This is where you're going to be learning how to develop your intuition and how that shows up for you. This is how you're going to be able to learn how to trust and start acting on that. Private one-on-one sessions are gold. Am I right? There's just so much more power in one-on-one sessions than group coaching calls. Oops. Offer number 2, Intuition Development Guidebook. When you invest in the energy coaching, you receive this intuition guidebook. It details the step-by-step process I use to develop my own intuition. This proven process has worked for my clients, which they still continue to use and to strengthen their intuition long after our program and working time together is done. Don't you love a gift that keeps on giving? It makes me so happy to help others with that. And offer number 3, Energy Work Dream Audio. This is also so amazing. When you invest in Energy Work Coaching, you'll receive this beautiful dream audio that you listen to while you sleep. Listen to while you sleep. You can be productive while you sleep. Yes, please. It is customized just for you in all the areas that you are needing healing and clarity. This is the part where it helps reprogram your brain. It helps you develop new thinking, new thoughts, new beliefs. We do the healing and the releasing, but this is where you're getting the programming of your brain, and because you're able to do it while you rest, you're doing this effortlessly and productively while you're asleep. I wish we could do more things that are productive while we sleep, right? Offer number 4, guided meditations. When you invest in Energy Work Coaching, you're going to receive guided meditations that will assist you with any personal goals that you may have, as well as relaxing your mind and body, resetting it from flight or fight mode. As women, we need more time that we can get out of flight or fight mode on the daily, right? Okay, offer number 5 is, I love this one too, Curative Crystals Chart. I'm wearing my necklace right here. There's some crystals and gems. I also have some crystals and gems that I'm using to help me feel grounded and feel supported energetically. And you're going to get your own personal crystals chart. That's going to be all the crystals that are coming up that I receive energetically, intuitively, that are going to be beneficial for your healing and your progression in this journey in our time together. And so you're going to receive a chart full of your specialized crystals that are showing up to help you in beautiful, energetic, healing, powerful ways. Have you ever been Do you collect crystals? Like, have you ever been interested in them? You don't have to know a lot about them in order for them to be powerful and effective, but they are. I used to think, oh, it's just a rock. No, they actually do. They actually do help a lot. Offer number 6 is an intuition journal. When you invest in energy work coaching, you're going to receive a journal especially designed as a resource in helping you record your intuitive hits and a place for you to process your thoughts from your healing sessions. I love before and afters. Like, do you love before and afters? They're so awesome. This is going to be your place where you're going to document your before and afters with this program. If this feels aligned with you, if this feels like something that you just can't wait to participate in and receive that healing, and you desire that alignment, I offer that you can apply below. There's a button below this screen where you're going to be able to access an application to fill out and to start finding out how to work together. But what's it worth? What is it worth to you? Here's your options. You can do nothing and stay stuck in the hustle with the same results that you're getting now and burning the candle at both ends. Or option 2, you can create new product offerings and hoping that one of them will take off one of these days and that you'll be able to hit your next revenue milestone. You can continue spending that time on creation, development, and money and time into resources to get your product on the market. Option number 3, you can read more books, join more courses, expensive masterminds to heal what works for other people with the chance that it might work for you. Number 4, you can ignore the inklings you're feeling to develop your intuition and that deeper connection and the magic that comes from it. Or number 5, you can choose to work with me and we can create an aligned business for you while developing your intuition in ways that helps you be able to live your greatest purpose and with the most clarity and peace that you've ever had before. If this is something that you're wanting to do, I can't wait to work with you. I am limited on how many people that I can take on as personal clients. So I urge you to fill out the application as soon as you can and set up as you do. Once you get your application submitted, it's going to be received by our team. Our team's going to review it, and then they're going to set up a time to have a phone call and to see if this is going to be a good mutual fit for the both of us. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to take your money without helping you truly with the things that you desire, because I know what it was like to be in that place, and I don't want anyone to have to be stuck in that place again. And I want you to be able to receive that healing, that help, that alignment, that deeper connection, and knowing that what you're truly doing is following what is in alignment with you, with what your heart wants, and following your intuition. And I am so thankful that you are here today, that you spent this time listening and learning and letting me be vulnerable with you. I appreciate you taking that time, and I'm so excited to get to know you more and chat soon on our call. Okay, I'll see you later. Thank you so much.